Hi, my name is Bruce Takasaki, and I'm the Marketing Product Manager for Robotics at Ross Video. Since entering the robotics market back in 2012, Ross Video has assembled the most complete line of robotic camera systems in the industry. From pan tilt heads and elevators, to free-roaming XY pedestals and rail-based dolly systems, all controlled by a common, powerful, and intuitive control system. To this day, Ross Robotics is still the only supplier that designs, develops, and manufactures all of these systems in-house. Ross has now shipped and installed thousands of systems around the world, and with each one has added the knowledge and understanding of camera robotics and how they are used in all sorts of applications. Everything that has been learned has been used to guide the design of the next generation Furio. The Furio has become the standard bearer for high-performance track-based robotic cameras, delivering silky smooth on-air movements that permit directors and cameramen to create dramatic signature shots, which can then be repeated over and over again at the press of a button. This has resulted in Furio being adopted around the world, in almost every region, in all sizes of installations. Given the success and popularity of the Furio, it was not necessary to reinvent the wheel. Instead, the intent was to improve upon the original design by increasing performance while adding dozens of intelligent new features and improving the safety and robustness of the overall design. Although it has been almost entirely redesigned, it is still very clearly a Furio, having retained the same basic architecture, including the original track dimensions, while developing a new, more modern look that exudes technology leadership. For all these reasons, the latest Furio has been branded Furio SE for smart evolution. This is a higher performance Furio that is easier to install and maintain and safer to operate. The new carbon fiber lift has been completely redesigned to dramatically increase the functionality while ensuring long-term reliability and repeatability. Based on field-proven technology from the CAMBOT pedestal, the Furio SE lift delivers an impressive 50% increase in extension range, while increasing overall height by almost 40 centimeters, or more than 15 inches, over the original Furio lift. This permits the Furio SE to easily cover both seated and standing positions, while providing more height and an increased range of motion for even more dramatic moving shots. Lift speed has also increased, doubling to 15 centimeters or 6 inches per second, enabling the camera to get into position more quickly, even with the increased extension range. Meanwhile, the lift has been re-engineered to be more powerful and robust, adopting the proven linear rail-based design that has been used for years in the CAMBOT pedestals to ensure superior linearity over the life of the system with zero maintenance. This is particularly critical in virtual set environments, where deviations in the lift linearity can produce angular errors that cause virtual elements to drift away from their intended positions. To offset the increased cylinder length and the addition of linear rails, the SE lift has been built out of lightweight carbon fiber. This maintains mechanical stability, even with the extended range, for smooth, vibration-free moving shots. Track speed can also be increased by as much as a third with the new dolly, due to the addition of safety lock wheels that ensure the dolly does not tip during rapid moves, especially around curves. With hundreds of Furio dollies installed in studios around the world, Ross has learned firsthand that what works well and what does not, in a broad spectrum of real-world installations. So Furio SE was designed to make sure it would be quicker to set up, more robust during operation, and easier to maintain and service. As a result, dozens of smart design features have been implemented throughout the lift and dolly. From the shape and position of the handles, to the location and labeling of the connectors, even to the brightness of the motion warning lights. Since there are too many features to go through them all in detail, I'm going to highlight some of the more noteworthy ones. First is a look at the setup features. The electrical connection between the lift and dolly uses a sliding blind make mechanism that makes completing the lift assembly a snap, while protecting the cable and connectors from damage. This is particularly important for Furio Live applications, where the system is set up and torn down frequently. Two sets of handles near the top and bottom of the lift were custom designed to provide multiple handhold positions during installation of the lift on the dolly. The upper handles offer both horizontal and vertical hand positions for maneuvering during transportation and installation. Meanwhile, the exterior profiles have been carefully formed to make sure that cables between the head and the dolly never catch on the handles as the head and lift are repositioned. Power management has been dramatically simplified, with auto-sensing 110-220 volt DC power supplies, 24 and 48 volt outputs for powering the pan tilt heads, and an integrated power strip for providing mains power to cameras, prompters, and other accessories. So no more powered bars taped to the side of the dolly. A rocker switch on the dolly permits the lift to be raised and lowered locally, without requiring a control system or joystick panel. The position of the lift can be read off the lift extension scale integrated on the side of the second stage of the lift. Moving from setup, here are some of the features that make the system more robust and easier to maintain. All electrical circuits are now contained within 2 field-replaceable units to simplify fault management, servicing, and replacement. Each FRU can be replaced in minutes by simply removing 4 bolts, sliding the existing unit out, sliding a replacement in, then reinstalling the 4 bolts. The Power and Control FRU is a complete array of clearly marked status LEDs to make sure fault identification and diagnosis are quicker and easier. In addition, all electrical ports feature self-recovering overcurrent detection to protect electrical circuits. Connectors lie parallel to the top of the FRU, where they are well protected from accidental damage. The lift wire draw, which used to run down the outside of the lift, has been replaced by an internal magnetic strip encoder, eliminating the potential for interference between the wire draw and cables that could occasionally cause errors in the lift position reading. The struts that help support the payload and slow the descent of the lift are now located inside the lift tubes, protected for potential damage. Next is a look at some of the most important new functionality in Furio SE, the safety features. When setting out to design the Furio SE, the goal was to make it the safest robotic dolly system in the industry. With a top speed of 3 meters per second and capable of raising 30 kilograms of cameras, lenses, and teleprompters to more than 2 meters above the ground, it was important that Furio SE incorporates a full suite of safety features. Onboard front and rear e-stop buttons, or optional remote e-stop modules, bring the system to a controlled stop in the event of an emergency, by instantly cutting power to the dolly, lift, and head. This engages the lift lock, latching the lift in its current position. The dolly comes to a controlled stop thanks to a unique constant current regenerative brake that applies a constant braking force. The head becomes freewheeling so that it can be manually repositioned if necessary. Note that the same thing happens in the case of an unexpected power cut to the system, meaning that if the camera happens to be on air at the time, the lift would remain in its current position while the head could be manually controlled until a different camera is selected. To warn people in the vicinity that the system is beginning to move, front and rear light bars gently flash when any robotic movement is in progress. The brightness of the lights can be dimmed to suit the specific operating environment. Also, the safety lock wheels mentioned earlier that permit higher maximum speeds also ensure that the dolly stays safely on the rails, without risk of tipping under all normal operating conditions. The modular design of the Furio SE can be configured for a variety of applications and scenarios, making it even more flexible than its predecessor. Both the Furio SE Studio, formerly known as Furio Robo, and Furio SE Live, formerly known as Furio SE, now share the exact same dolly and lift hardware, which can be reconfigured for use in either application. So if you need both systems, such as for rental or large broadcast facilities, you can use a common system for both applications. Most importantly, the Furio SE is still compatible with legacy systems, permitting existing VR1, VR600, or RC heads to be used on the SE system. It is even possible to use the Furio SE lift with existing legacy Furio dollies. Of course, Furio SE also supports the new VR100 head, the recently released stronger, more robust replacement for the VR1. With a 50% increase in the rigidity of the head, the extra support arm that was on the VR1 was eliminated, therefore reducing the footprint of the device. Meanwhile, the payload was increased by 33% to 20 kilos, or 44 pounds, enough to support a small or medium-sized teleprompter. This puts the VR100 a step above most other entry-level heads, which are typically restricted to carrying just a camera and lens. The Furio SE pushes the boundaries of rail-based robotic camera systems. Performance, ease of setup and maintenance, superior robustness, and industry-leading safety features make the Furio SE the clear benchmark for studio robotic camera systems. That concludes our introduction to the Furio SE. For more information, please go to our website at www.rossvideo.com.